Hi everybody, my name is Jo with Jo Wise Leadership, and today we're going to have a bit of a talk about switching off. I'm still working out the internet in my new place, so I'm sitting outside today. I think that seems to work best at the moment, so let's see how we go today. Facebook is just running off to collect an audience. I always like to imagine them running around with a butterfly net just collecting people up. I would just have a look to see if I can see my post on my page, which I can, so I'll just share it. Hi Alison, thank you for joining us again today. And hi Andrea, I was thinking about you today, so nice to have you on. We've got a whole bunch of people coming on, so please say hi when you join. I don't always see who you are, so it would be fabulous if you could say hi. I'm just going to quickly share this on my other page, so please give me a sec. Take a sip of your water. And I'll take a sip of mine. Hi Celeste, nice to have you on today. All right, so I'm just sharing with my other pages. Thank you so much for your patience. Today I'm going to have a little bit of chat about switching off. On the weekend, my nose always seems to get nitchy when I'm on Facebook Live. Over the last sort of couple of months or couple of weeks really, our family has decided that we've reduced our screen time. So mainly this is just mostly for Marley, for our son, just to get him off screens a bit. I let him spend a bit of time on screens during the holidays, and we kind of realised that it wasn't exactly the direction we wanted to go with our family, was just to have everyone sitting on screens all the time. So we had a bit of a chat to him, and he was really cool with that, and he saw the benefits in believe it or not, he really understood. Hi Naj. He really understood how screens were going to work. But during that time as well, I also did a bit of research on why, what screens do, how they work with your brain, what effects they have, and so on for kids, but also for adults. And it's kind of a big deal. So when we went away on the weekend down the beach, which was fabulous by the way, I decided that I was going to go screen free. So what that meant for me was turning my phone off Friday afternoon and not turning it on again until Sunday night when we got home. And look, as I said, the reason I really decided to do this myself on the weekend was just to do a bit of a test and see what would happen. I didn't actually think it would be that much of a big deal for me. I do love my phone. I like to, use it. Obviously means that if I'm thinking of somebody, one of my clients or a friend or family, I can just send them a quick message, and I can also check any emails coming in whenever, like all the reasons we do it. We check the weather, we check, we use it for a mobile, for our alarms, everything we use it for. But I just really wanted to check it out for me. But also during this time of doing a bit of research on it, I also found out a heap of statistics around mobile phones, around, 81% of people talk about interrupting conversations, playtime with their family, dinner time, meals with friends or family, to reply to a message, either text or email address or an email. And I thought, wow, isn't that interesting? I don't ever have my mobile phone at the dinner table, and I don't like it at all. However, I certainly have interrupted playtime and or conversation time with both Cam and my son to check a message. So when I sort of read that statistic, I went, ooh, okay, yeah, that it does affect me. Also, the Forbes magazine wrote an article, and they said that 3 out of 5 people actually spend more time on their computers and their screens than they do with their significant other. And I thought, whoa, wow, more time on my computer than I would with the person that I've chosen to spend the rest of my life with. That kind of sounds a bit insane to me. But again, that's what the statistics show. And also 50% of people talk about checking their work email on the weekend. That was an interesting one for me because if anyone that follows me knows, I work with professional women, to help them take their careers to the next level, but do it in a way that helps them thrive. So one of the conversations I do quite often have with them is get your mobile phones out of your bedrooms. You don't need to be checking your work emails on the weekend. Most people, not all, but most people that I work with do not have it written into their contract that they need to be checking their emails, their work emails on the weekend or at night. So I always have that conversation about get rid of it. However, something that came up for me during this was I was thinking, well, it's different for me because like I'm running my own business, right? So I need to check it on the weekends, but it's actually no different. I do mostly not check my emails on the weekends and make a bit of a point of not, having my mobile phone on in most evenings, but it's really, really easy for me to just pick up my mobile phone when I'm sending a message to somebody to say, hi, I'm thinking about you, and just check my work emails as well, which in itself isn't a big deal. However, it takes me away from being present in those moments and all of the other things that are important to us. So the big statistics I read up were 81% of people will interrupt a conversation, family time, playtime with their children to reply to a message or a text. 3 out of 5 people spend more time on their computers than they do with their partners, and 50% of people check their work texts on the weekends. So all of those things had an effect on me. Obviously, there was a heap of other stuff we did about research on screens and what they do to our brains and all of that other stuff. Well, that's a whole different Facebook Live. Hi, Catherine. Nice to see you here today. Thanks for joining us. So when I read all of that, I was like, you know what, I'm definitely just going to check out for the weekend, and it's something that I will absolutely do a whole bunch more times as well. And there's also that thing where so many people tell me they can't possibly turn off their mobile phones. And I know a lot of the conversations in Facebook, how many times do you see somebody, you wake up in the morning and, during the day you turn on your mobile phone and like 5 people have put on a Facebook message at 4 a.m. saying I can't sleep, and they're actually putting it in Facebook, which is, the screens keep you awake and all that sort of crazy stuff. Anyway, I kind of have this thing where when everyone's doing something, I don't really want to be doing it. So it kind of feels like at the moment that everyone has their mobile phones with them 24/7. So that, as well as the statistics I read and the family screen reduction time we're having at the moment, was enough for me to put my phone down for the whole weekend. And I think the main reason, so the sun has just moved and it is absolutely scorching my shoulder here, which is crazy because I'm also wearing a jumper and jeans. It's pretty cool in Melbourne today. So excuse me while I move into the shade a little. This Melbourne sunshine's just too much for me at the moment. Oh, great, Celeste. I'll catch up with you soon. So, as I was saying, when everyone's doing something, I kind of want to push against that. So this is my way of doing it. Why don't people turn off the mobile phones? Well, the pushback that I get from people quite often when I'm talking about, I'm recommending they turn off their mobile phones a bit more just to calm their brains down, is, I can't possibly turn off my mobile phone because my work needs to contact me 24/7. And one of the comebacks I always have, and one of the questions I always ask is show me in your contract where it says you need to be available 24/7. We teach people how to treat us. So when people at work email you at 10 o'clock at night and you reply straight away, you're teaching them that that's okay over and over again. And every single time you reply to a message or an email or a text out of work hours, you're teaching them that's okay. Yeah. So one of the things I always say is show me in your contract where it is. And people will quite often say, no, it's not in my contract, but it's expected. So then I recommend go and have a chat to your boss and just say, hey, am I really expected to reply to emails at 10 o'clock at night? Because in some businesses, yeah, that's the culture and you are. But majority of the time when people actually have that conversation, they actually have the courage and go and speak to their boss, majority of the time the boss will say, no way, that's not a requirement, or I don't check it, or whatever else. So it might be just worth having a conversation, or at least thinking about, yeah? The other thing is that people don't quite often say, or quite often do people do say is, people need to contact me if my family needs to contact me, I live on my own, or all of those things. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Everyone has their reason. But just really when you're telling yourself why you can't turn off your phone, then maybe dig a little deeper and ask what it's actually about. Because I know when I went to turn my phone off on the weekend, a little bit of FOMO came up, that fear of missing out of, what if something really important happens and I don't know about it? Well, the really interesting thing I found over the weekend is that maybe some really interesting stuff happened, but I certainly never heard about it. But most of the time, nothing really exciting happens that we miss out on. So the world continued and, nothing really changed the fact that I had my mobile phone off at all. The other pushback that I had myself on the weekend, and then I know a lot of people say is, but, I like to be able to do something when I think of it because it saves me heaps of time. This is a big one that came up for me on the weekend because it was a couple of times, particularly Friday night when I turned off Friday, when I was thinking to myself, oh, I just want to quickly send that text, or I just want to order that book that I heard about last week and haven't had a chance to do it. And I kept telling myself, if I just flip my phone on now, that's going to save me a heap of time later. But what I did instead was I just wrote a little note in my diary. Friday night I wrote 3 things down that I was going to action on Monday that normally I probably would have done straight through my mobile phone. Instead, I did them this morning, and I didn't really see a massive drop in productivity today because I did it today rather than did it Friday night in my family present weekend time. So there's some of the pushbacks that I get. I'd love to know what your pushbacks are and the reasons that you couldn't possibly turn your mobile phone off for a whole weekend or even an evening, because I'm collecting a little bit of information on this. I'd love to know a little bit more. But look, one of the things I learnt most, or I most got out of it on the weekend, or that I loved the most about turning off my phone for the whole weekend. Hi Shivani, lovely to have you. And hi Moira, nice to have you as well. Thanks for joining us today. We're having a bit of a chat on turning off on the weekends or in the evenings, whatever you like. The thing I really got most out of it, or I loved the most on the weekend with turning my phone off the whole weekend, was just being present. When I was thinking about doing it, I thought, I'm going to feel so much more present with Marley and I'm going to feel so much more present with my family. But to tell you the honest truth, I felt more present with myself this weekend than I had, I don't know, I just felt like a deeper connection. Hi, Jihan, congratulations on your new baby. I just saw you had one this week, so congratulations. So I really felt, having my phone off this week, and I did feel being more present with myself, and that was a nice feeling. It wasn't even a really tangible feeling, because as you know from the message that I share quite often and the things I talk about with my clients and on Facebook Live, I am very much about being present. I am very much about looking after yourself and doing the right thing for you. Doesn't mean I'm really good at it. It's still, I'm practicing all of this stuff as well. And just having one less distraction on the weekend just allowed me to connect on a deeper level with a lot of that stuff. Also helped me sort of demonstrate, I guess is the right word, to Marley particularly, that when a text goes off or there's a beep of my phone, that I don't need to answer it straight away, because I want to, if I'm sitting down and playing with him after school, for example, I noticed over the last couple of weeks, if we're sitting down playing cars or, Pokemon toys or something, and my phone dings, he will straight away be like, Mummy, you got to get a message, you got to check message, you got to check message. And I'm like, I don't need to check my message, mate. I'm playing with you, it's fine. And it's all very easy for me to sit there and say, mate, no, you're my priority. I'm playing with you right now, so you're the most important thing, and so on. However, he says that. You've got to check your message, you've got to check your message, because at some time I have probably taught him by doing it that when I have played with him in the past, there would have been times when I was playing with him and I did check that message. So he didn't just make this stuff up. He has seen it in action, and I would have done it absolutely in the past. I've noticed that happening the last couple of weeks. So sort of turning the phone off for the whole weekend was just a way for me to sort of confirm to myself what's actually most important. It's not the Facebook ping, it's not an email message that, could be one of 22 emails I get every single night that are just junk. That stuff is not important to me. What is important is being present with my family and with myself over the weekend. So that was just a nice way for me to sort of to demonstrate that. Rather than talking about it and telling him is my priority, it actually gave me a chance to be able to demonstrate that and show him in person that that's the case. So I kind of liked that as well. That was really nice. The other thing I really noticed and I loved on the weekend was Friday night. I was a bit not even anxious or antsy. The level down from that, where I think my brain was sort of still going that, or if I could send that message now, that would save me time, or if I could do this right now, it would save me time. Instead, Friday night it was sort of like that, but by Saturday morning, I was done. I didn't care. My phone was off. I had no emotional attachment to it. It wasn't causing me any stress having it off or anything. In fact, it was kind of like I'd forgotten about it. And I liked that a lot because it showed me again, sorry about that, there's wind is crazy out here. It showed me again how quickly we can create habits that are resourceful and positive and work for us, and also to the contrary. So I picked up the habit of having a mobile phone with me and checking my messages really easily. It showed me how easily that I can break that habit as well. And within, Friday night till Saturday morning, and the same all day Saturday and all day Sunday, I didn't even worry about checking it. I didn't even think about it. And I kind of forgot about it a lot of the time, which was really, really nice. Hi, Margaret. Welcome. So they were the main things that I really got out of it on the weekend. And, the kind of big thing I thought about today when I was thinking about, what am I going to speak about on Facebook Live today? And I'm like, well, I kind of wanted to be able to come on here and say, thank you for the thumbs up and the love. I kind of wanted to be able to come on here today and say, wow, I turned off my what is it? See, I've forgotten what it is. My phone over the weekend, and it changed my life. And, there was this massive moment of change and all of this. But it didn't happen. I felt a bit more present with myself. I got a few nice learnings out of it, and it kind of just happened. And so I think that was sort of another thing for me as well, that it was like, well, not everything needs to be the biggest, greatest, hardest, fastest all of the time. And I wanted to share this with you because, maybe there's something in your life that you can easily change, that you've been saying you can't, who knows, or maybe not. Just spend a couple of minutes in the afternoon having a cup of tea with me. That's always nice. The other thing, one more thing that I did want to share is on the weekend. I remember going into the weekend and I thought to myself, you know what, I've got, I'm not going to have my mobile phone on the weekend. What else can I do? What are the extra things that I can pack to take away on the weekend to the beach so that I've got stuff to do? And then I kind of realised that that was defeating the purpose. So one of the things I do say quite often is don't fill the space. And I did that really well on the weekend as well, where didn't have the mobile phone, didn't need to fill up my brain space and my emotional space and my mental space, or my space physically with my family and myself over the weekend with having a mobile phone at all. And I didn't need to fill it with anything else either. I did spend a bit of time hanging out on the couch and reading a magazine and all of those things. But everything I did over the weekend felt like it had just a little bit more grounding, I think is the word that keeps coming to mind, just because I didn't have any screens over the weekend. So it was no big deal. It really wasn't. And as I said, I would love to come on here and say it's changed my life. But I think that's kind of the point as well, is it's the little bits and pieces that we do regularly. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Mirza. Hi, James. It's sort of the little bits and pieces that we do regularly that make a difference. I made a very clear decision on Friday that I wasn't going to have my mobile phone on or have any screens over the weekend. And I did that. It had no massive impact on my life as far as I didn't miss out on anything. My head didn't explode. Nothing happened. Nobody needed to get desperately in contact with me, even though my ego did tell me a little bit on Friday that somebody would. It just happened. I did it and I moved on. And you know what? This is one of the things that I will start to do a bit more regularly, not every weekend, but who knows, once a quarter, once a month, and even going even a little bit more with turning my mobile phone off at night and through the day a bit more, which I already do a little bit anyway. So I think all of these little things that we do to look after ourselves help us shine a little bit brighter, and that's what I'm about today. So, hi Nick. Hi Jenny, and hi Mirza. Thank you for the thumbs up and the love today. All right, so have a wonderful afternoon. Think about where you're going to turn off for yourself this today or this weekend. Give yourself a little space and look after yourself. And just quickly on the end, look, if anyone's interested in doing a workshop in Melbourne with me in March, I'm doing a core confidence workshop. Look, I'll be talking about it a little more over the next couple of weeks, but it's the 7th of March. I'd love to see you there. If you're a professional woman that's wanting to build your core confidence to improve your career, and do it in a way that's going to work for you individually, then check it out. I'd love to see you there. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your turning off, and I'd love to know your questions or if you have anything to add. Speak to you soon, everybody. Bye. Thanks for the thumbs up.